Welcome to Lesson 1 on Weapon Concepts in Photoshop using the sketch tools. First thing I want to do before we get into our project is to set up the workspace and talk about some of the things that you see on the right hand side, as well as go over how to load our custom brushes. Over here on the right, you see that we have some folders and layers that have already been pre-made for you that will come into play later. We have our three main layers we're going to be drawing on, and we have our background layer. The background layer needs to be turned off for right now. It can be spun up, and we'll get to that in a few lessons. What I want to do right now is I want to come in and I want to close some of the things over here on the right hand side that I'm not going to need later. Keep it nice and simple, only the things that we're going to need. I'm going to come up here and close tab group on adjustments. That should close the entire thing. I'm going to come up here and close the swatches group. And I'm going to, before I close the color group, I'm going to come up here to Window and Brush, or F5 on your keyboard. And you'll recognize this as a panel we used before in class. I'm going to drag my brush panel up here next to color, let go, and I'm going to then close my color tab by clicking close. So the only thing I should have open are my layers and my brush. This will allow for some fast switching, and generally this is the only thing we're going to need for the first few steps. So it just makes it a little bit easier to get rid of some of the extra things on the left or on the right hand side. Okay, let's talk about our custom brushes. Go ahead and hit B on your keyboard for the brush tool. I'm going to come up here to my down arrow next to the brush, and you'll notice that I have some special brushes loaded here. These do not look like the ones that we have. These are not default brushes. These are special brushes just for this project, and I'm going to show you how to load them. First thing I'm going to do is come up here to my gear, and I'm going to reset this so that it looks just like yours. If you ever mess up with your brushes, if you mess up loading, if you misclick something and you lose all your brushes, you can always come in here and reset the brushes with the default brushes, and everything will be just fine. These are the ones that we have been normally using. I'm going to click that little gear again, and I'm going to go to Load Brushes. I'm going to go to where my brushes are, right there, and all I have to do is click on it and click Open, and you'll notice that these brushes have loaded at the very back side of my brush menu. You also have a second option. Let me go ahead and reset this again. If you go into Replace Brushes, right there, and you double click, it will replace every brush in your library with that bundle that you just clicked on. For the purposes of this assignment, you really don't need all the brushes that are in the default. If you would like to simply just load them, that's fine. If you would like to replace them, that's fine as well. These are really the only ones that we're going to be working with for this project. Once that's done, we're going to be ready to go in the next lesson. We will get into painting silhouette modules and accessories that will be going on our fantasy weapons. So we'll see you then.